The origin of video games lies in the early cathode ray tube-based missile defense systems in the late 1940s. A device called the cathode ray tube amusement device was patented in the United States by Thomas T. Goldsmith, Jr. and Estill Ray Mann. The patent was filed on January 5, 1947 and issued on December 14, 1948. It described using 8 vacuum tubes to simulate a missile firing at a target and contains knobs to adjust the curve and speed of the missile. Because computer graphics could not be drawn electronically at the time, small targets were drawn on a simple overlay and placed on the screen. Magnavox licenses Ralph Baer's television game technology from Sanders Associates and releases it to the public as the Magnavox Odyssey. The system uses interchangeable game cartridges called cards, a controller with 2 knobs, one for horizontal movement and the other for vertical. It also comes with translucent plastic overlays to simulate background graphics for the dot and line games that generate onto the screen. Similar to board games, the players use a physical scorecard to keep track of their points. Ralph Baer also develops the first video game peripheral, a light rifle that plugs into the Odyssey's controller port for use in shooting games. The Atari VCS, later known as the Atari 2600, hits the scene and reinvents the home console market. The third and most advanced cartridge-based system, the VCS/2600, delivers an advanced 8-bit graphics onto your TV and a wide variety of games from originals to remakes of the biggest arcade hits. Although nowhere near the quality of the Con-Op arcade units, the VCS/2600 becomes the father of modern console gaming. Bally Midway enters the console market with Astrocade, available mainly through mail order in computer stores. Nintendo releases their first home console system, the Color TV Game 6, a self-contained console that plays 6 variations of tennis, which is basically like Pong. Nintendo released the Famicom in the US as a Nintendo Entertainment System, or the NES, ending the industry crash and launching the 3rd generation of console gaming. Avoiding the term console, the NES is called an entertainment system and looks like a video component. Sales go through the roof and makes Nintendo the dominant force in the gaming industry. Nintendo also launches Super Mario Bros., an incredible multi-level platform adventure. The game is so popular that it actually drives sales of the NES system and starts to get packaged with the NES. Mario will become the most popular video game character of all time. For the past 30 years, with a steady movement of games but no new console innovations, Sega and the NEC Corporation decided to up the stakes and upgrade the tech with the Sega Genesis, aka Mega Drive, and the TurboGrafx 16-bit card. The Sega Genesis is the first 16-bit console since Mattel's Intellivision. With far superior graphics than the 8-bit NES, the Genesis becomes Sega's most popular system and gives the NES a run for its money. Panasonic ships the first self-contained CD-ROM console, the 3DO. Named Product of the Year by Time magazine, the system is the highest quality console on the market, giving birth to many popular franchises such as Alone in the Dark and Need for Speed. Despite all this, the $699 price tag and an oversaturation of the market causes the system to fail. Atari makes a final attempt at reclaiming the market with the Jaguar. Although a CD-ROM system, the Jaguar also has a slot to play cartridge games. Because of its bug-ridden processor, memory failures, and complex controllers, the system bombs, and Atari exits the market and sticks to publishing games. Doom is also released and quickly overtakes Wolfenstein 3D as the most popular FPS game of all time. This generation opened with the launch of the Dreamcast in 1998. Despite its initial success, popularity and sales soon began to decline, with contributing factors being Sega's damaged reputation in previous commercial fails, software pirating, and the overwhelming anticipation for the PlayStation 2. Production of the console would then be discontinued before the console war properly began, as well as Sega leaving the hardware market altogether. The second release of the generation was Sony's PlayStation 2, which would go on to be the best-selling console of the time. Nintendo followed a year later with the Nintendo GameCube, their first disc-based console. Though more or less equal with Sony's system and technical specifications, the Nintendo GameCube suffered from a lack of third-party games compared to the Sony system, and was hindered by a reputation for being a kids' console and lacking the mature games the current market appeared to want. During this time, the Xbox was Microsoft's entry into the video game console industry. Xbox launches the Xbox Live Arcade, a free-based downloading service for the Xbox and Xbox 360 systems. This concept breathes new life into popular classic arcade and console games such as Street Fighter II, Mortal Kombat, Prince of Persia Classic, and many more. The Wii Virtual Console's Wii Shop channel offers a free-based download system to the Wii console, bringing a new audience to many forgotten games featuring full versions titles from the NES, SNES, N64, Sega Genesis, and the TurboGrafx 16 systems. To play these games, you need to have a GameCube controller or the wireless Wii Classic controller. The PlayStation Network launches their own next-gen feed-based download system for the PlayStation 3. Offering not only classic PlayStation 1 releases such as Crash Bandicoot and Tekken, but also arcades classics like Joust and Gauntlet 2. Ralph Baer presented with a National Medal of Technology Award for inventing the home console video game.